as a financial advisor for over 20 years. These are 8 things that I think we all need to think about stop buying in order to be able to retire early. And the very first one, you're going to laugh because I'm biased, and we need to quit buying free financial advice. When somebody is offering to give you financial advice for free, guess what? They're still making money some way. There's really 3 steps to the financial planning process. There's the planning side of it, there's the execution of that plan, the buying the investments, and then there's the follow-up. And if somebody is doing the first phase of that for free, guess where they're getting paid? They're getting paid by selling you something later. So that's the first one. And related to the first one is I think we all need to stop buying investments that we don't understand. Broadly speaking, there's really 2 types of investments. There's investments that are made to be purchased. You go and look for them because you think it's going to be a good investment for you. And then there's investments that are made to be sold. And far too many of us are buying investments that are made to be sold. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is you and I, left to ourselves, would never go out and say, I need to buy something like this, right? We get pitched it. Somebody says, oh, well, there's this investment product that does this. It gives you a certain percent of the upside of the S&P 500, but only a limited downside. Well, as we all know, there's no such thing as a free lunch. So buyer beware. So that's the second one. The third one, I think, at some point we all need to really be critical about the number of new cars that we're buying, how often we're buying new cars, and whether we could buy a used car instead of a new car. Why do I say this? Unfortunately, new cars depreciate very rapidly. If you buy a new car, unfortunately, believe it or not, in its first year, it's going to lose about 20% of its value. And then in the second year, third year, fourth year, each of those years, it's going to lose about 15% of its value. So by the time you get out 4 or 5 years, your car's depreciated by 50, 60%. The average new car is $50,000 a year now. So that's over 5 or 6 years, $30,000. Could you, instead of buying a new car, could you buy a used car? Something that still looks nice, was well maintained, but somebody else took the depreciation and now you get to benefit from the lower price. See, the other thing is the average, I shouldn't say the average, but almost 20% of new car loan payments, monthly payments, are over $1,000 a month. That's an enormous amount of money, so just be cautious. And the average new car payment is about $750 a month. I think the actual number in 2023 was $730 a month, so that's expensive. Could you buy a car with cash instead of taking a loan if you bought a used car? Still something nice, still something that's well maintained, still something you could enjoy driving. Okay, let's keep going. Related to things that depreciate quickly are technology. I'd hold up my iPhone, but that's what I record on. But having the latest and greatest smartphone, the latest and greatest tablet computer, the latest and greatest laptop computer, the latest and greatest watch. Yes, it's an Apple Watch, but as I record this, it's about a 5 or 6 year old Apple Watch. Might even be 7 years old now. And it still works. So I am, mea culpa, I am guilty of enjoying buying the latest technology. So, really ask yourself, is it worth it? Is it something that you're committed enough to that it's worth spending that kind of money? And then related to that are the extended warranties on technology. Now, the first year of an extended warranty on technology might be worthwhile, at least for me. I tend to buy the first year, but I don't buy the second and the third year for the same reason about the cars. They just depreciate so quickly that, at least for a smartphone, the company I buy my smartphone from, it's $80 a year to have insurance on that smartphone. And the first year, it makes a lot of sense because that phone's more expensive. But the second year, it's dropped in price a little bit, but the extended warranty is still $80 a year. Same thing with the third year. So the extended warranties are some to be careful of. It's nice to have that peace of mind. I get that. Okay, another one. Regular viewers of my channel know that I've been fortunate in the last 5 or 7 years to be able to travel quite a bit. And one of the things I quit buying was souvenirs for myself and souvenirs for others. I'd much rather have conversations with people about the country I'm in, or do a FaceTime call with a friend when I'm in the country, and maybe, you know, I'm at a local pub enjoying the best beer of my life, and calling up a friend and saying, hey, if you ever get a chance, you know, you need to come to this country and enjoy this beer as well. Or, you know, just share the experience other ways. And for me, one of the things, I had one carry-on bag, and so frankly, I didn't have room for the souvenirs, but I found having those conversations, having those memories with people was the valuable part, as opposed to lugging something home, having to carry it around for the rest of the trip and spend the money on it. And then what does that person do with that souvenir? One of the things I started buying is little refrigerator magnets of the different countries I've been to. And they have a lot of meaning for me, but if I gave you a refrigerator magnet, you'd be like, hey, Azul, thanks a lot, but what the heck am I gonna do with this thing? So souvenirs is another one. Okay, now let's get to some of the bigger ones. We talked about new cars. Another big item is a second home. You know, I have 3 rules for generating wealth. And the first one is you have to you have to spend less than you make. The second rule is one house. And the third rule, I say somewhat tongue-in-cheek, one spouse. So spend less than you earn. You got to invest it as well. One house and one spouse. And the one spouse thing, not everybody's meant to be married forever. I realize not every relationship is perfect. But if you can invest the time and effort in that relationship, it might have a huge payoff, because divorce is really expensive. So if you can avoid buying divorce, you'll probably be grateful later for that. But my thing on one house, I work with many clients. I do have clients that have second homes. And oftentimes their vision for the second home, this gathering place for the family, for the adult children, for the grandkids, that might work for a couple years, but then pretty soon people are like, you know, we want to go somewhere else. We don't want to go to the same place every time. So more often than not, that vision of what that second home is going to be does not pan out. And second homes can be incredibly expensive. So if you're fortunate enough to have enough money that you're thinking about buying a second home, I just want you to hit the pause button and really think about it and make the decision that's right for you. Nothing that I'm sharing here is prescriptive. It's your money. Spend it the way that you want. You worked hard for it. And speaking of hitting the pause button, that's another big one, is give yourself 48 hours. You know, when you're surfing on the internet and you come across something and you're like, oh, hey, that's kind of cool. Maybe I should buy that. Give yourself 48 hours and make it easier on yourself. Don't bookmark that page. Don't put a note down that you want to buy that. Just, if you still want it in 48 hours, you'll remember it. So, you know, the one place that I break that rule is if it's like, this would be a great gift for one of my daughters, or this would be a great gift for my mother or my wife, then I'll write it down and then I'll probably buy it right away. But if it's for me, you know what? Let it just kind of bake for a couple days. And if I still want it, I'll remember it and I'll reach out and buy it. But if I can minimize the cardboard boxes that get delivered to my front door, that's a good thing. And we're all going to win that battle and be better off for it at the end. Okay, a couple bonuses related to keeping those cardboard boxes away from the front door. These warehouse clubs that many of us belong to, where we go and, you know, we're going to pick up just a couple things. You know, we're going to pick up a larger bag of frozen fruit, and maybe they have incredible deals on that. Or, you know, we're going to pick up some rotisserie chicken or whatever it is. But How many of us have gone into these warehouse clubs thinking, I don't even need a grocery cart, right? I'm just going to go in and get what I need and I'm going to leave. And somehow, if we grab a grocery cart, we leave with that entire grocery cart full. So be careful with the warehouse clubs. Okay, another one to be careful with is what I call cheap clothes, cheap coats, cheap shoes, right? So I find myself buying less, but buying high quality. Regular viewers of my channel know I have a blue Patagonia coat that I have gotten my money's worth because it's a high quality coat. And I've worn it for many, many years. So I'd rather pay more for a high quality item that's going to be around for a long time. And again, these are the things that I want you to think about stop buying in order to retire sooner. And on that subject, I want you to think about watching this video here, which is 5 reasons to retire as soon as you can. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in there. Bye-bye.